you decided to watch this video, then you're probably wondering how you can set up and run a Facebook ad campaign to your Spotify to drive new traffic, new listeners to your Spotify, and increase your monthly listeners every month on a very small daily budget. Now, I'm going to show you in this video how I have set a £2 daily budget on an ad campaign to drive traffic directly to one of my projects, a lo-fi project that I'm doing in Spotify under the name of Jofi, and how I've been using this ad campaign to slowly grow my Spotify on a very minimal budget. Now, the one thing I want to emphasize about this video firstly, and I want to kind of clarify this for anyone who maybe click on this video maybe for a different reason, this isn't the sort of campaign that you're going to profit from. So you may be investing money into this, but you're not going to get the same return, mainly due to the fact that Spotify pays so little for streaming, and it would take a really big bump in streams to get a profit. Now, this is something that you can get if you release a song and you put a lot of money into ads early on to try and trigger the algorithm of Spotify and get a lot of streams of your song. That is when you can profit from Facebook ad campaigns on Spotify, if you can drive them early listeners to get that bump in the algorithmic playlist and get loads of streams where you'll turn a profit. This is one of those campaigns where you want to think long term. You want to get loads of listeners in, get them engaged, and slowly every month build your listeners up, where by the end of the year, if you run this campaign for a solid year, you will have tenfold the amount of monthly lists that you do, and in the long term you will start to get the money back on this. Like, this is an investment in your audience. So anyway, I'm going to show you about the ad campaign that I'm talking about. And again, this was a ad that I ran on Facebook. For those of you who are familiar with Facebook, I'm sure if you're watching this video you are. This is the ad campaign that I'm running at the moment, and so far this month I've spent £49.38, and I've got a total of 283 conversions, meaning a conversion is when someone clicks on the link, goes through and listens to the song. Now, I use HypeEdit. It's a very good smart link. For those of you who don't know what a smart link is, it is a link which tracks people's actions on a website. So if you give a multiple choice to click, say Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, this hyperlink can gather that data to tell you what they're clicking on. You can track audiences' behaviors. I used a conversion campaign, as I just said, for this, and I just want to quickly emphasize this is a campaign which has now been running for over 2 months. If we go to last month, I spent £59.81, and I was getting 20p conversions. It was seen by 88,000 people, and it got 299 link clicks. Now, if we compare that to this month, again, we're nearly at the same amount of link clicks. We still got a week left in the month, and we've had 17p in conversions. Now, this is going to lead to one of my biggest points with using Facebook ads. And we spent £49, and we've reached 103,000 people. As for targeting, I had a free ad set level tier, and every one of these ad sets had a very decent amount of ads. This is found the way that the best way to operate with getting really good conversions on Facebook ad campaigns is having a lot of ads, a lot of different ad sets, and then letting Facebook gather the data and let Facebook make the decisions on where best to spend the money. Now, again, this is my point that I'm going to make. So when I first started this Spotify campaign, I had just released 3 singles in 1 week to start my lo-fi. It's free covers on my lo-fi channel on Spotify, and I had 3 campaigns for each of the individual songs, but I also wanted this one campaign which is to drive listeners just to the whole of Spotify, so they could go on, see the 3 songs, choose where they want to listen, also give them the option to listen to my Spotify playlists, which you get more streams from, obviously, on there. Spotify plays a very good way to get followers. And when I first started out, I'm telling you, I was getting about, I think it was about 50p per conversion in the first week on this ad, and it went down to 40p, and then by the end, I think, of the first month of running this campaign, I think it was still over 30p a conversion. But what you do with Facebook ads, you leave it running, and now I'm paying 17p per person listening. Now, this isn't completely accurate because sometimes Facebook can miss some of the conversions. If I was to go on my HypeEdit, I would check it the other day, and I've actually had 315 conversions this month. So that's a whole 30 odd that Facebook's missed out on. So again, you get more than this, and it's performing really well. Again, I'm spending £2 a day. For me, that is not a lot, and it's money I'm willing to lose. One thing you got to think about when you're doing this, if it's money you're willing to lose. And for me, it's worth it because again, I only started this project a couple months ago, and I've only used Facebook ads to promote my Spotify, and I'm now comfortably over 300 monthly listeners, and we're getting 1,000 streams a month, which again, it's not the sort of numbers which are going to get your money back. But you got to think about it. I haven't done any pushing at all, just Facebook ads, and we've had over 1,000 people now, individual people on my Spotify, and every month we're drawing 300 new in, and some of them are staying. So the way you got to look at this, every month I'm going to be getting more and more monthly listeners because people are going to be staying, listening to the music. So I'm hoping, using this campaign about 6 months down the line, I'm hoping to have way over 1,000 monthly listeners just through this little campaign alone, which while also promoting the ads when they release as well with bigger campaigns. So it's just a nice little campaign to run to make sure you're getting those Spotify listeners in. And again, I just want to quickly emphasize the importance of having multiple ads, because you want Facebook to have as much information to go off as possible. I've now settled on this one exact, so the chill music tier. So that was targeting people who are into chill music and tier 1 or 2 or some countries which I know do well on Spotify. I also tried Spotify, and I also targeted lo-fi music. Now out of them 3, chill music did the best. And then again, narrowing it down even more, in that chill music ad set, it was my ad 1 pre-chorus and then the certain style of the image. And again, it's very specific. I created 4 different ads where it had a different image and it also had different parts of a song. And this is the one that ended up working the best, so I stuck with it. So if I was to, I don't know because it's been running for a while, but if we go to last month, you can see I was briefly running this campaign last month. These are the last 2 that I switched off of all of them, just to see, because they didn't really gather any data, but it is what it is. And now the most beautiful thing about running an ad like this for a couple months is I now have a very good lookalike audience where I can use this ad to gather data and create a lookalike audience, which I can now test when I do my next one, or maybe I will create a new version of this campaign in the future and use a lookalike as one of the 3 tiers, so I can have a 4th tier in there, so Facebook again learns even more. And that's the way you got to treat Facebook conversion ads nowadays, because it's getting harder and harder. And if you don't do any of this, you just do a traffic campaign, you're going to be wasting clicks for starters. But you've got to give Facebook all of the sort of content possible to test and trial different methods to see what the link looks like. But so just to quickly show it off, here is the page that I'm promoting for the past couple of months, and it's currently on 268 monthly listeners. And again, like, it's going really well. I've got a song to over 1,000 streams, and I haven't been pushing them too much. And again, a couple of playlists. This playlist is now on 21 likes just from someone clicking on my profile and then going and finding this. But it's just nice because the numbers stay consistent, and these haven't dropped since I first started this project. And again, if it keeps running, I'm hoping by the end of the summer this will be around the 500 monthly listeners mark. But yeah guys, that's just an example of how you can be getting less than 20p link click conversions on a Facebook ad campaign. That is the desire. You definitely want to keep it under 25p. Anything over, I'd say 30p, is a pretty poor performing conversion campaign, or you probably could tweak a few more things. And especially if you're going to pump a lot of money into this, like for example, if I was to be putting about £200 a month in on this ad that I'm doing, I would probably be raking in nearly 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which is great. But again, we don't have the money for it. But this is a nice little budget campaign that you can do just to get a few more listeners to your Spotify. So I hope you found this video helpful, guys, and if you did, hit that subscribe button, as it is the best way to support the channel. But keep making music, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.